everybody. Welcome back to Gooner Gathering. I am Goonly Mees, Lee Meadows, joined by the poshest man in sports entertainment today, Posh Bertie. Hello, mate. How are you?
Hi, hello. Oh, I'm in a good mood after our performance on Saturday. Yes,
Excellent.
I'm looking forward to discussing that. And
Mm,
it's been a while since we had performances
yeah,
like Arsenal did on Saturday. So yeah, very good.
that's good. That's nice to hear you in an upbeat mood. Um,
That
I'll
could
say
change
this.
tomorrow.
Absolutely good. Oh, look, fancy that. Arsenal domination. It happens to be in the chat. Fancy that. Hello, Dom. It is good to see you, my friend. And if you guys haven't already seen it, Dom, obviously, member of Gooner
Mm.
Gathering, a regular guest over on Josh's channel, True Gooner. You'll see him later on tonight if you want to watch him at 8 o'clock tonight. So, check him out on True Gooner. And Dom started his own channel, so he's doing some fantastic stuff over there. So do all the nice YouTube stuff, like, share, and subscribe. That's what you have to do. And we are keeping Dom company on the train home. So hopefully we can entertain you as we go along. So yeah, it's been a nice kind of relaxed kind of weekend, hasn't it? I mean, Ebbsfleet's game got cancelled, so you must be in a good game. Or a good
Yes.
mood.
Oh, I don't have to watch Ebbsfleet. Brilliant.
That must have been
But
frustrating for your fans, the
oh
Ebbsfleet
God,
fans.
yeah. I
What,
mean,
3 hours
I wouldn't,
travelling?
based on how we've been playing, I wouldn't have recommended to them they should go all the way to Fylde anyway. But people who made the long trip or for the game to get cancelled, it's just it's
Not good, is
frustrating
it?
for them. But Ebbsfleet, I didn't have to watch Ebbsfleet play, but I did have to watch Arsenal play, and I was very pleased with how we did.
Well, let's dig into it, mate, shall we? Because
Hmm.
if you look at the starting 11 from it, it was. I mean, you couldn't have predicted it, certainly from our point of view.
Hmm.
You're having camera issues there, mate. You all right?
Yeah, I'm all right. It's if I do my camera like this, you get the lights on the.
Ah,
But I gotta wipe it up like that. There you go.
yeah,
It's gone.
I've got my own spotlight and everything sorted out. I'm a professional. Um, if you'd seen that starting 11, you'll be thinking, well, okay, that's not what I predicted. I think you tweeted, okay, very funny. Where's the real lineup?
Yeah,
But
great band.
let's sort of jump into it. But we already knew, of course, Ben White was going to be out for a while. But it was nice to balance that up with Calafori coming into the starting 11, Timber going on over to the other side, showing the value of him and his versatility. We had Marino, we had no Declan Rice, but we had
Mm.
one Jorginho in the middle, Captain Erdegaard back. I was very surprised to see our front line looking like it did. Saka, yeah, we expected him to be there maybe after the international break after his injury, but apparently he only had one training session down with him. So, but to see Jesus and Trossard over on the left, I was a little bit surprised. Were you?
Yeah, so various people leaked the lineup.
I saw
The
this.
usual suspects saying,
Yeah,
"Oh, this is our lineup." Timber and Calafori at fullback. Was it Rice, Marino, and Odegaard or something in
yeah.
midfield?
Everyone
Saka,
had Havertz
Martinez.
up.
Saka, Martinelli, the standard stuff that you'd expect Arsenal to line up with.
Yeah, yeah,
But then all of a sudden, the official Arsenal lineup came out. We had Jorginho in the team,
yeah.
Trossard on the wing, and Gabriel Jesus up front. When I actually found this out from you messaged the WhatsApp group saying Jesus masterclass today, and I
Yeah.
thought, what are you on about? How much of that Dr. Phil have you drunk? But turns out you were right, and it
Yeah,
got me thinking.
yeah.
Do you think Mikel Arteta saw that his real lineup had been leaked, and he thought, "No, I don't want these leaks in the team," and just rejigged it completely?
Not
Or
at
or,
all,
or, should, or should
Posh.
I take my tinfoil hat off? What say you?
I say take your tinfoil hat off. He don't. he's not going to change his mind. He had his lineup set up. He's been training with that lineup all week. Yeah, it surprised me, but it also shows the value of having the squad. Bear in mind, like this time tomorrow, pretty much, we'll be kicking off over in Portugal in the Champions League, and it's nice if you've got a squad available. I think it's great to use it. I mean, let's we knew that Rice and Saka had issues because they went off at Chelsea, right? And if they weren't injured, they wouldn't have come off at the Bridge because that's a too big a game, and the game was too tight of a match. You wouldn't play silly buggers. Let's be fair, right?
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. Maybe Mikel did take a little bit of a risk on Bukayo because, like you said, he'd had one training session. You wouldn't know it though, watching the lad play.
Yeah.
But I mean, the fact he didn't want to risk Declan Rice. I mean, give him a few extra days. Does that mean he plays tomorrow in Portugal? When we're yet to see if he's actually there. I don't know because I mean, I think Mikel is about to do his press conference about now. So, I mean, yeah, I may have timed this podcast a little bit wrong, but it is what it is. Dom says, God, watching Odegaard and Saka was just so enjoyable. It kind of makes you realise how much we miss Odegaard in that starting lineup, doesn't it?
It certainly made a difference. I think the entire team played very well together on Saturday. And that partnership between Odegaard and Saka during that game was just brilliant to watch. It was.
Shall we get... Oh, Rice will be there with his wash bag tomorrow, don't worry, says Dom. Well, that's good to know. I mean, he was there, he was on the bench, but he wasn't used. I would suggest he was a smashed glass just in case of emergency kind of situation on Saturday. Hello, AFC always. It's nice to see you as always here. And yeah, he says we missed Odegaard's creativity. Yeah, I think we did. And I also think, and we'll get into Ethan Nawari in a wee bit because I put the thumbnail of Ethan. It would have been very, very easy. It would have been very easy to maybe think about putting Ethan into that starting 11 position. But I also think Mikel's been very smart and very clever about just holding him back a little bit and just sort of gradually getting him into the side. I don't think he's going to be held back for too much longer, I'll be honest. Especially if he keeps on doing performances like he did in his little cameo. I mean, I was quite astonished to discover, obviously, you think, oh, yeah, of course he has. Fourth goal of the season already that he scored at the back end of the game. I thought, well, that's just an incredible impact from a lad that's not really played an awful lot of games. He's an incredible talent, but we'll get into Ethan in a bit. Says, right, hang on, what's Dom say here? Says Zinchenko
in his book. Oh, yeah. Zinchenko exposed Arteta's tactics in his book or something. I don't know.
I think
if calling Zinchenko an idiot, that's perfectly fine in my books. Anyone who calls Zinchenko an idiot is fine in my book, so don't worry, Dom.
Absolutely. I think what Dom's sort of getting at here is the fact that he's sort of bringing, like, I mean, there was an occasion, wasn't there, that he brought Bukayo Saka into the dressing room, but then never played him because he was injured. I think it was. I'm sure people do that anyway. In all fairness, they try and keep starting lineups under wraps as best as they can, can't they? But it is difficult in this modern age where you've got eyes and camera phones everywhere. Right. Let's sort of get into some of the match action. I'm going to watch it somewhat back as I'm talking to you. Hopefully the volume doesn't come out on my computer. Do you want to talk about briefly the Timber goal that was ruled out relatively early on, about 5 minutes gone. It was a free kick that went into the far post. I think it was Jesus who got a bit of a touch on it, and Timber sort of bundled it in. Very, very close offside, but I think ultimately probably a right decision. But it was a close one.
It's a bit like the Chelsea goal, where the first thing I
Yeah.
saw was the opposition players putting their hands up.
Yeah.
But that was the first thing I saw when Timber put the ball in the back of the net. So I was like, hang on a minute, let's not celebrate just yet. In fact, the flag went up straight away.
It did.
It looked very tight, but it was probably the right decision at the end of the day. And it took about 5 hours to decide, when it should have really been counted offside anyway, but it was ruled out. So decent finish from Timber, but rebound I should say, but offside.
That would have been
expected.
that would have been his first goal for Arsenal, and wouldn't it have been nice? Bear in mind what happened to him in the fixture last year, but I'm sure Timber's moment will come. He's been a breath of fresh air watching him in both fullback positions this season. I think he's doing incredibly well. So I believe, if I'm just catching up, AFC Always has subscribed to Dom's channel, which is excellent. And Dom says he's gutted that the goal was ruled out, although it was correctly given. I want to give the referee's assistant credit, because he called it straight off. He had the flag up. It was the VAR that was taking like 5 hours, and ultimately they come up with the right call. But Christ alive, I mean, you don't need that long wait, do you?
No. It's ridiculous, really.
But I mean, I don't know how good Ipswich and Man United felt yesterday when the VAR went off for about 10 minutes because of a fire alarm. Result. But anyhow, let's. We didn't have to wait too much longer after the disallowed goal for Odegaard and Saka to link up, and then Saka just taking the whole Nottingham Forest defence for a bit of a dance before lashing that left foot shot past the goalkeeper. It was such a tremendous goal. It made Merce literally shout his blooming face off on Sky Sports. Yeah, it was a hell of a goal, wasn't it?
Saka likes scoring some belters against Nottingham Forest, doesn't he?
He does. He does.
Yeah, he started out on the right, and he just moved further away, and then he just whacked the ball in the back of the net. Incredible finish, and we got off to a fantastic start. Long waits are what I used to send the newbies for the meat counter to look for when I was supermarket manager. Excellent, Dom.
I've heard that gag before.
From supermarket manager to a treasurer. I mean, to a certain place where I probably shouldn't mention. Great.
No. I mean, don't dob him in, mate. Come on. Don't dob Dom. Guna's Goat is in the chat. Hello, mate. And he just says, Ethan the Wary is one of our own. Yeah, you knew I was going to sing at some stage.
Good to see you, Gunner's Goat.
Absolutely. Again, the value of having a fit Bukayo Saka in our side was nice to see. I believe statistically the best right winger in the Premier League this season. Hello?
Well, I think I'll respond to that by saying it was a very good goal from Saka, and very good finish, as I said. And we deserved to take the lead, because I think we were by far the better team before the goal was scored, and we deserved to score that. You really used to be a supermarket manager. Okay. Dom Winton.
Oh, very good. I like that. Gunner's Goat was at the game. He was at the Emirates for this. Best thing I've done in my life. Oh, amazing. That's one. I'd love to get a ticket myself, but unfortunately I had two issues on Saturday. One, I was working until 2 o'clock, and B, I couldn't get a ticket to save my blinking life. But there you are.
I haven't been to the Emirates since 2019, I think it was, against Chelsea when Emery was in charge. I'm due a visit back. I'm due a visit back, but as you said, you can't. When I'm not a member of the club, so you can't really. It's almost impossible to get tickets nowadays. So, and they're very expensive.
Right. So Dom in the chat is busy tonight. I like this. Saka's the best right winger this season, in my opinion, but it'll be undisputed when Salah leaves in the summer, poking the Liverpool Bears that might be watching. Good evening, Unai Emery, says Guna's goat. I saw this. Did you see this story? I'm moving away just a little bit.
Yeah.
Salah saying he's more out than in for next season in the press today. What did you make of that story?
About Mo Salah?
Yeah.
I don't know. We have to wait and see if he signs a contract for Liverpool or not. It's plenty of time to go. There were stories like that about a certain striker we used to have, and he ended up signing a contract with a while to spare. So I'm not reading too much into that, and it's not really our problem unless we end up playing Liverpool. So
yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. Well, that's fair enough. Like I said, we went 1-0 up relatively early on, and I think we were rather unlucky, as my screen starts to freeze up here, not to get a second. I do remember Saka having an effort that got deflected, then Trossard had an effort that was well saved by their goalkeeper. Again, Trossard might not have been everyone's first pick coming into this game. He certainly wasn't mine, because I was a little bit cross with him after Chelsea, I'll be honest with you. But he's, there's talk of the contract that is about to be signed, and he launched a pretty decent effort there.
Yeah, I've been monitoring Trossard very closely since the Man City incident, if I'm honest, and he missed a penalty against Shakhtar. I was saying, if you remember, I'm pleased that we're winning and we're playing very well, but we need that 2-goal cushion, whether it's before half time or somewhere else in the game. We definitely need to score another goal so we can try and definitely have a much bigger advantage. Trossard came close. I think it kind of went straight to the keeper, but it was a nice effort and a good save from Sells, I think it is.
Sells his name, that's right.
Forest goalkeeper.
His Belgian teammate, mate.
Oh, okay, yeah. But a good save from him. We were the most dominant team in both in the second half and in the first half, really. Which makes. Considering we were talking about how majority of this season Forest looked very good, I think we were all over them.
Even in defeat against Newcastle in their previous game, I was impressed with watching Forest. So and that for me, what makes this game even more impressive for us. And I know before anyone comes at me saying that, but Chris Wood wasn't playing. Well, to be honest. He
had a chance, didn't he? He had a chance when he came on in
the second half.
Later on, yes.
I mean, it got a bit of a wild sort of deflection, didn't it? I think that might have been at 2-0, where I'm pretty sure Raya would have certainly been tested from that. But it's all ifs and buts there, isn't it? I mean, that's the issue with obviously Chris Wood. I think he's New Zealand, isn't he? New Zealand international. Yeah. He must have had a heck of a week travelling, having done the trip to Australia myself, and actually having a chat with my brother yesterday, who's just been to New Zealand as well. Even the trek there from Oz is a bit of work, I can tell you. But maybe we're a tad fortunate in time there, but you get what you're given, don't you? Wasn't our fault when the fixture computer came out and spat the fixtures out for us. Saka had another effort in the first half, I'm gonna just go back about 10 seconds on my other device to see exactly what happened. It was a really direct run, wasn't it? From Erdegaard, played it on the right hand side. That might have been Timber. Yes, I think that was Timber who linked up with Saka, and then the goalkeeper made another excellent save. Again, that typifies how his season's been, to be honest. Getting a tweet saying, "Oh, maybe Kieran Tierney might make a cameo appearance tomorrow." We'll cross that bridge when we come to it. Yet to see. I'm gonna check on Arsenal's.
I
website.
doubt it.
I could see him being in the squad, Posh. That's what he's there for.
I've just seen that the chance you're talking about from Saka. I reckon if he took it first time, it probably might have gone in. But
I don't blame him for taking the touch and making sure that the shot went on target. To be fair.
Yeah. Nearly home, so I'll have to drop. Great show, gents. Do leave them a like and show the chaps your support. Thank you, Dom. And make sure you show Dom your support as well by subscribing to his channel.
And if you're not sure where to find it, it's in our community post on Gooner Gathering. I've made sure I put that up very, very early this morning. Goodness me, ladies and gentlemen, I've had a long day. So if you can hit that like button for me and just make doing what we do worthwhile, I'd appreciate that very much. Now, back into it. For the 45 minutes that Jorginho had on the field, I thought he had a magnificent game. My brother might have seen more of this because having spoken to him yesterday, but he was very commanding in that midfield yet again. He did pick up a booking, didn't he? And I think I want to commend Mikel Arteta for hooking him early in the 45 minutes, because I think he wanted to sort of rotate the squad a little bit. Partey's been excellent during the season, as we've spoken about anyway. It didn't take Thomas Partey very long to make an impact on the score sheet, did it, mate?
Well, I also think that Jorginho was very good in the game.
That's good.
I think it was actually, you're going to love this, it was very smart of Mikel Arteta to take him off at half-time, because he picked up a booking, as you said, and also he was doing things that just made me think, careful now, I don't want you getting sent off. It was good for Mikel Arteta to actually take him off at half-time for Thomas Partey. And, that was an absolute thunderbolt, wasn't it, from Thomas Partey in the second half. Just outside the box, in the top corner, 2-0. And, we were very much in control now.
My analysis of this was Saka did ever so well to find him on the right. But Partey had so much space there.
I've just seen the goal again. That was amazing.
And he just absolutely launched it. We know he's got that in his locker. It's just rare to see it go in the net, if you get what I mean. He'll often have a good go, but I think that's his second goal of the season, if I'm not mistaken.
Similar to goals that Xhaka used to score for us.
Yes, that's a good analogy. Yes, that's a good comparison, mate. Yes, I appreciate that very much. And it was very much a second goal that I think Arsenal deserved. I think it probably calmed the lads down a little bit. I don't think with the second goal, I don't want to say they eased off, but what I think they did after that was scored, I think they was trying to conserve a little bit of energy when the substitutions happened. I think there might have been a tad more energy amongst some of them, and maybe a young 17-year-old that wanted to make a bit of an impact, which we'll talk about in just a second. I'm just going to sort of run the highlights through, and if there's any, let's talk about the Chris Wood chance. I might have to just speed past a little bit because, let's just see. That was a long throw into the penalty area. Head on.
Yeah, and it deflected off another Forest player.
Yeah.
That's what stopped Wood from that chance there.
Yeah, it certainly was. It certainly was, and I think it was probably a little bit fortunate that it did. Now we're sort of getting towards the latter stages of the game. Certainly on if you're watching the same highlights, which I think you probably are.
Yeah, on the Sky Sports YouTube channel.
Absolutely. I quite like the fact that there was 2 substitutions in particular that were made. Ødegaard was taken off. Again, an excellent performance from him. Ethan Nwari came on and he was excellent. I don't want to big the kid up too much because it's we've seen it so many times, haven't we? Where players are sort of come in with a big fanfare and not necessarily hit the billing. But there was everything that Ethan done in his cameo was exciting. Do you know what I like about him? He's not scared of running with the ball, being direct with his play. He's not scared to have a shot. He's not scared to show a few bits and pieces, some skills that he's got on the ball. Let's talk about the first opportunity he had when he was running down the right. He weaved in and out and it launched a Saka-esque shot that went just past the post there. You see it's dragged onto his left foot just past the goalkeeper. He was a little bit unlucky not to score on that occasion, I thought.
Well, Yeri had another chance, didn't he? Again, he looked very lively, didn't he, when he came on? I actually thought Arteta was quite sensible with his substitutions. Taking Ødegaard off when he's just come back from injury. And I think the only mistake he made was keeping Jesus on because he didn't do anything. Quelle surprise.
That's not true, actually. What I think he did with Jesus, he gave him much needed game time. I believe Jesus actually was credited an assist as well in the game. But look, I think he gave Jesus 90 minutes, being that he wanted to pay Havertz probably tomorrow. That's kind of my thought.
Right.
And there's nothing wrong with giving him a little bit of a chance to shine. AFC always disagrees with me, and that's fine. Jesus needs to leave. He's finished. People can have their opinions, and I absolutely don't mind that at all. But we have Jesus in our camp at the moment. We have a squad. That's why they're there. That's my opinion. Let's talk about, for me, the absolute highlight of the game for me. Let's talk about young Ethan just bombing down that right-hand side. I'm going to watch it in real time here. And Raheem Sterling gives him a lovely cut back, and Nawari just pops it in. I have got to say that was exciting. 4th goal of the season. Yeah, and an assist from Raheem Sterling as well.
For once, Sterling wasn't selfish. Well, you've done your little song about Ethan. Well, my one is Samina Mina, waka waka, £0 down the drain. Ethan has scored again. Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
You do know I'm going to TikTok that later, don't you?
I do, yes. And my reputation has now has now, no pun intended, gone down the drain.
What reputation?
Exactly. I lost that 10 years ago. Ethan, I'm very proud of him. Obviously, it's important, as you said, not to get too carried away. And compare him to Lamine Yamal. Even though I have said that the amount of game time Yamal has featured and all that, yeah, he scored an El Clasico and everything, but he's certainly the better player than Wanyeri.
Just bear with me a second, Posh, because I've got breaking news. Hold on a minute. Just want to make sure I read that correctly. I have bad news for our North London rivals.
Go on.
Right. Vicario, the goalkeeper, he has undergone surgery, according to Fabrizio Romano, for a fracture of his right ankle. So that must have been during the game against Manchester City on Sunday. There was a moment, I do remember it, when he went down. Clearly, they didn't substitute him during the match, but he did have lengthy treatment. That's a hell of a blow. I know we're moving off from target where we need to be, but that's a hell of a blow for Tottenham, isn't it? For Vicario to be out. I mean, they've got what's his name, Fraser, isn't it?
Fraser Forster
as their reserve goalkeeper. But goodness me, that leaves them awful short, doesn't it?
An ankle injury as well. That's usually that's months
that's
as well.
3 months. That's 3 months at least, I would thought. Being someone that's had ankle injuries myself, that's dreadful news for the Tottenham goalkeeper. Not our problem, clearly, but again, I like to keep everyone up to date with the breaking news. It's got to be done. So we've basically covered the important matters in the Arsenal game there. Let's sort of look forward a little bit.
One more comment from AFC Always that says, Wanyeri is ready, he's hungry, he should definitely start. I think it might be difficult for him to get in the starting 11 now that Odegaard is back. But he should definitely be Odegaard's backup, definitely, rather than Leandro Trossard in the 10. He's much better in the 10 than Trossard is, in my opinion.
I agree. What I'm thinking with Ethan, we have to remember the guy's 17. It's probably a good point to remember. Of course, he's become the second youngest Premier League goal scorer for Arsenal in history after the strike on Saturday. Second only towards Cesc Fabregas, of course. Beeping noise?
It's your I keep hearing a noise like that. Is it your phone?
My phone's on silent. It's not making any noise at all. Oh, there is a device behind me in the corridor. It's a dehumidifier. It might have made a noise.
Right.
I will have to check it. Being I live in a flat, there is a bit of an issue sometimes of condensation and stuff. So if you heard a beep 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 noise, it was probably that. Either that, or it's either it might be Anna making Amy's dinner, but that's right in the way in the kitchen. I've tried to get away from Amy today.
I'll let you know if I hear it again, because I think I know where AFC Always is coming from.
Yeah, no, that's fine. So, what are your feelings coming towards tomorrow's game in Portugal? I will say this: we've got to remember that Sporting are league champions in Portugal when they just beat Manchester City a couple of weeks ago. I know the manager's changed. I know they've promoted within. What are your feelings coming towards this game, mate?
It'll be tougher than the Forest game, that's for sure. And we're away from home. And we have history with Sporting Lisbon recently, don't we? In the Europa League. They knocked us out on penalties. And they also have one Victor Gorkarez
Never heard of him.
Front, who has been just sensational this season for Sporting and for the Swedish national team as well. And we're going to be up against him. We need Saliba and Gabriel to pocket him, don't we? No, he's going to be very. It's going to be a very tough game. It's not going to be easy, that's for sure. But I do think that after the loss to Inter Milan, I think we do need a much better result.
Yeah, absolutely. If we want to keep in that crucial top 8 that we're talking about. Save us a couple of games in the. I'll come back to that.
All right.
in the next couple of I've just laughed at that. Yeah, in the early doors, you've just put me off my stride.
Do you know what I will say? Early doors, very good to see you. We are facing each other, aren't we? Next week. Bit of live admin. Early doors. Are you? If you, Mr. Meadows, are free on Friday, and early doors, if you're free on Friday evening, how would you like to either you come on our channel or we come on your channel or something, or and we can discuss the upcoming game perhaps? Because we'd love to have you on, as we've got
early
each other.
Doors I think is be very much more in the technically gifted than I am in terms of linking up our channels. I'm sure Early Doors would be able to hit the buttons, and so we could put on his channel as well. But you know where we are, Early Doors. You could give us a message, or don't feel under pressure from Posh Bertie's request.
No, don't worry. It's just an idea. It's just an idea.
We'd love to have you. We'd love to have you. It'd be good. Can come on to yours, not a problem. There you go, ladies and gentlemen. Early Doors will be making his Schooner Gathering debut.
Hopefully.
If we can sort it out, it'll probably be. Let me think. For me, it'll be probably about 8 o'clock stream, if that's possible, guys.
On Friday, maybe. Yeah,
that's kind of what I'm looking for. If you want to talk live admin as well, I mean, we could do the live match as well on Saturday if you want.
Potentially, yeah. I'll have to come back to you on that one.
All right. Okay. Fair enough. But let's look back at Lisbon. I didn't realise Gorky has had a bit of a spell from Brighton. He played Brighton and then went to Coventry. Then you realise he scored 67 goals in 69 games. Nice for Sporting.
That's mental stat, that is.
Isn't it?
I mainly know. I mean, I didn't know he played for Brighton. I knew he played for Coventry, but I didn't know he played for Brighton. So
no, that's probably pre-Premier League, I would imagine. They were. I watched the game against Manchester City a couple of weeks ago. They were incredibly impressive, I've got to say. But how do you think they will go against an Arsenal side that looked back into confidence and also rested a couple of key players on Saturday? What are you thinking on our side of things?
Well, I'm not sure, because away to Sporting, like I said, it's a tough Champions League fixture. Good to see you, Early Doors. No worries. But yeah, obviously we'll probably play our strongest lineup. But depends on what is being said in the presser. I think Rice will play. I think Havertz will play.
I'd expect an unchanged back line is probably what I'm thinking.
Yeah. Let's see if we play with as much vim and vigour as we did against Forest. Obviously very different teams, but it'll be interesting to see.
I also think Martinelli will probably play.
Yes. What comment? AFC or this one. Is it this one? Tomorrow's game is massive. We need 3 points, because if we lose our next 2 Champions League games, we could be 20th. I don't know if our next.
I think we alluded on that. It's a very key game.
Yeah.
It's a very difficult game. But if we were to wanted to get through to that, crucial knockout stage, I'm pretty sure we're going to want to do it without having them extra games. So we're going to want to finish in that top 8, aren't we? And believe me, as an older guy who's so used to the old format of Champions League, this is too complicated for me, and I don't like it.
Yeah.
But sorry, AFC always. I didn't see it. I hope that's. I'm going to get back to that in just a second, because I'm getting breaking news above my head from the presser. So the presser is literally going on right now. Sorry, AFC always. I'm sorry I missed your comment earlier. But yeah, this is what we're saying. It's going to be a difficult game, but it's one that I think if we want to get further in the competition, we're going to have to do well in.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the new manager. Of course, Amorim went to Manchester United. Of course, had his first game on Sunday, yesterday, and he had a 1-1 draw. They've appointed their reserve team manager, João Pereira, as his replacement until 2027. So that's his new contract. So I wouldn't imagine you'd expect many changes if they're just going to go with someone who's been working within their squad. What do you think?
I don't know. I don't know much about Sporting Lisbon other than Victor Gorkarez plays for them.
Yeah.
But yeah, I know they I don't know much about their new manager either. So
okay.
Really...
Well, that's you give me an honest answer there. That's fair enough. I don't, to be honest. I'm not one that sees an awful lot of Portuguese football. My father-in-law was a Porto fan, funny enough. So AFC always says, was Ten Hag really the problem? That's a great question. What do you think of that?
There's many issues at Man United at the moment.
Yeah.
So yeah,
there are. I mean, it's funny, isn't it? It's funny that one reign comes to an end and you start off a new process, and all of a sudden Marcus Rashford scored his first goal of the season. But then, wouldn't you know it? Former Arsenal academy product Omaya Hutchinson scores an absolute belter. Can I just say a big up to my good friend Jovi, who works at the same supermarket that I work in. He was at Portman Road yesterday, and he had a jolly good view of everything, and he had a massive grin on his face. He had a good time yesterday, and fair play to him. Obviously it's been tough for Ipswich as they've come up. Of course, it was going to be, but I think they did themselves proud yesterday. They worked really hard to get a really good result. I'm just seeing if there's anyone or anything else that I need to know about. I'm just sort of looking or browsing through the Arsenal.com article. It's not really much I can say, really, other than the fact that they won the league with quite comfortably. I think with a couple of games to spare last season, and I think even from the side that we played in the Europa League, I think they've evolved even further along. And like I said, I don't expect it to be an easy game. Yeah, I remember this kid. There's a former Tottenham player who's in amongst the Marcus Edwards.
Marcus Edwards, yeah.
Yeah, who is still around with them. Is there anything else? Anyone else? Portuguese international Gonçalo Incio is partnered by a young centre-back, Zeno Debas, who plays for Belgium alongside Leandro Trossard. Interesting. Oh, and there's a Japanese international, Morita Hidemisia Murata, teammate of Tomiyasu. Okay, interesting. I also know that they won over the weekend. I think they won 4-2. Was that right? Oh no, hang on. That was the former. That's the former manager won 4-2 against Braga in his final match. That might have been it, because they won 4-2 in the last match against Braga. Then they've been on their winter break, haven't they? I think they've been on a bit
I
of a break.
don't know.
I think that's what it is. So yeah, and like you say, we did have the 2-2 draw, and then we went to penalties, and of course it was Martinelli, wasn't it, who missed that.
That was when Saliba got injured.
It was, and what a crucial moment of the season that was. Painful memory. We bought the penalty shootout live on Gooner Gathering. It literally brought me to my knees. Yes, AFC always. I did see this Roy Keane incident. It was quite extraordinary. Literally, feet away from the podium for Sky Sports. Keane gets right in the face of an Ipswich fan. Of course, Keane was the manager at Ipswich, wasn't he? Was he? No, I'm mixing it up. Sunderland.
Yes.
No, I am right, aren't I?
Yeah, he was.
He was at Ipswich and at Sunderland, wasn't he?
He was Sunderland manager, I know that. But yeah. He was Ipswich manager, I remember.
Yeah, absolutely. Say a couple of hellos. Let's say hello to Russ Morgan in the chat. Good evening, as he always starts his chat up. And Stone Cold, fella, Stone Cold, he's here. He had a brilliant quiz on last night on his channel, late night. I watched that just before I was going to bed last night, and it was it was a lot of fun. It's great to see you in our chat. Yes, I thought I was right. Thank you, AFC always, for confirming. Keane was the Ipswich manager. That must have been was it in the Championship? It must have been.
Yeah, must have been.
Must have been. So, as much as I don't like to say, what do you think about predictions for tomorrow? What do you fancy? Do you think Arsenal will come all guns blazing like they did on Saturday, or do you think we'll be a little bit more conservative from the Posh one?
I'm tempted to go for 1-1, but I'm gonna say, Joe, I'll say 2-1 Arsenal. 2-1 Arsenal.
2-1 Arsenal. I'll go for the 2-0. How does that sound?
Okay. Yeah.
That sounds like fun. That sounds like a good time. What I will confirm is, unfortunately, I'm going to be on full-time daddy duty tomorrow, and the night streams are quite difficult sometimes when it gets that late for us certainly in Gooner Gathering HQ. So hopefully what we will do, we'll figure out when to do a review show, and then we'll sort out a preview show, of course, for West Ham.
Yeah,
I'd love to get back on the lives for doing the match commentary, because we haven't done one of them in quite a while for some reason.
Yeah, I'd love to get back to talking about the old wrestling as well, because I've clearly missed a lot. Yeah. I mean, what, in the words of Cody Rhodes, what do you want to talk about? The Rizzler.
The Rizzler. I'm not quite sure how it goes.
I don't know.
Any AEW fans in the house?
Well, look, we can bring the boom to you when we're next on Gooner Gathering. I think that's how it goes. I don't know. I'm not the hip Gen Zer as you think I am. I'm afraid. You do know some wrestling, Stone Cold fella.
Stone Cold. Yeah. AFC always is going for Desmond Tutu, but I thought that when we played Forest, how wrong was I? How wrong was you? But you know what? It was good because we got a great result over the weekend. Let's sort of cast. I'll ask Bertie's views on a couple of the games that happened over the weekend before we go tonight.
Yeah.
What did you make of Spurs battering Manchester City at the Etihad?
Unexpected. I mean, I think, I think it's why Rodri, I think, deserved the Ballon d'Or, because look how influential he was for Man City.
Yeah. Great point.
Yeah.
Sir.
So Man City was dreadful for them.
You could call him the defensive
Shield.
Shield.
Yes.
And Stone Cold, yes, we know you like talking wrestling. I tell you what, Stone Cold fella, I've got an excellent idea for you, and something that we could do on another stream, and we will do a Desert Island Graps with you at some stage. We will talk about 3 matches that mean a lot to you in the world of wrestling. We'll put that on the YouTube channel, because why the heck not? It'll be a good laugh.
The man who you're stealing the idea from, the now newly married Tom Campbell, agrees with you on
that. Tom's cool, and I can say Tom's cool because I met him, and he's in person at Wembley, and he's one of the nicest men in history. Tom Campbell, of course, from Cultaholic Wrestling. Check them out on YouTube. So I will give them their fair plug. As ladies and gentlemen, his name is Tom Campbell. AFC Always. Paul Heyman bringing back CM Punk. That was amazing, wasn't it? Did you see SmackDown?
Heard about it.
Oh, mate. Heyman coming in with a Solo Sokola red style, almost like what I'm wearing right now, kind of suit. And the big introduction, of course, War Games coming up over the week, the 5-on-5 match. Punk joining, of course, Roman Reigns and crew, the original bloodline, the Usos.
Beautiful.
It'll be magnificent. I love some of that storytelling that's going on right now. Anyway, we are an Arsenal channel. We'll get back to talking wrestling another day.
I won't be watching the Arsenal game tomorrow. It's my missus' birthday tomorrow, so I'm taking her out for a slap-up meal. Well, happy birthday to your missus for tomorrow, AFC Always.
Happy birthday.
No, I'm not singing.
No, I wasn't expecting you to. I thought you might appreciate me doing the work, right? Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Mrs. AFC. Always, forever. Happy birthday to you.
There we are.
I thank you. Thank you. AFC Always also says that's what can happen when you take it to Man City. Why can't we win 4? Oh, I see.
We had 10 men. I think it's the. But
that was unfortunate to say the least, wasn't it? And I know I've seen people say this. Oh, what stage is he on? And what side? What
phases aren't he slotting?
Exactly. What phase is Ange on? I don't know. I don't know, mate. Just who we are. But
I have a Postradamus style feeling that the Carabao Cup final is going to be Arsenal versus Tottenham. I have a feeling.
Oh my god, that would be incredible. And if that happens, ladies and gentlemen, we will be bringing it to you live and possibly unfiltered.
Yeah.
The other thing I want to bring up, isn't the Premier League incredible? I'll just really briefly, because I want to get away before Newcastle against West Ham starts.
Yeah. Early doors versus John Sinclair.
Absolutely, it is. It's a great reference, and I appreciate what you did. Liverpool against Southampton yesterday. What did you make of that? What an extraordinary game. Isn't that a great indication of how Premier League is a great leveler to anybody and everybody? It was an extraordinary game. Could have gone either way. Southampton, bottom of the table, of course. We all know that. Everything going against them, including the goalkeeper, Ramsdale, of course, being out for a while.
Yeah.
What an extraordinary game that was. Did you see it, and what did you make of it?
In the immortal words of Arsene Wenger, I did not see it, but I heard that it was very good. Southampton took the fight to Liverpool, fair to say.
Yeah.
But you see how better they play when Ramsdale isn't in the squad.
Oh, they didn't know. That's the thing, mate. They didn't. Unfortunately, this is the problem. Oh, crikey, I can't remember the goalkeeper's name.
I'll give you a hint. He shares a name with a wrestling journalist.
McCarthy. That's right.
Alex McCarthy, yes.
Thank you very much, sir. I appreciate that. I appreciate that a lot. So it was basically, it felt to me McCarthy had mistakes in him from the simplest of situations, unfortunately. And unfortunately they were punished. It showed to me, I think Liverpool weren't at their best yesterday, but they showed an incredible fight to get the 3 points at the end of the game. They have got an incredibly difficult game, and it's definitely one watching. If you're in the UK, Sky Sports Super Sunday match.
Is it difficult for Liverpool nowadays, based on how City have been playing?
If you're playing Chelsea, yeah, I think so. I think so, mate. Definitely. I don't, very unpredictable.
Not playing Chelsea, they're playing Man City.
You're right. Apologies. Yes, absolutely. It'll be well. I mean, an opportunity here for seeing someone dropping points at the top of the table, isn't it? Obviously, we need to do our thing against West Ham on Saturday. We will discuss that at another stage. But I've now discovered that Stone Cold Fella is a Liverpool fan. So no, that's good to know. What I will say is you've got amongst our group here in Guna Gathering, I think we're all very fair and all very nice people, and we have a lot of respect for all the fans that come over from any team. We're a family friendly channel, and that's basically what we're all about, isn't it, mate?
Yeah, we respect all football fans, unless you're a Maidstone or Dartford fan. In that case, you can get stuffed.
That is very fair. I should explain, if you're new to the chat, of course, that Posh Bertie's local side, of course, is Ebbsfleet United.
Cheers for reminding me.
I'm sorry, Posh. I have to say it after what you just said. I have to say it, all right?
Yeah.
And of course, they're having a relatively difficult time. And of course, it didn't help that Maidstone had such a good run in the cup, did it, last year, mate? It just sort of rubs salt in the wounds a bit, doesn't it?
Yes, but I was going to say they got knocked out by Solihull Moors, but then I have to talk about how Solihull Moors played against us recently. So
6-0, wasn't it, mate?
All goals. The game. All goals were scored in the second half. By the way, Solihull Moors had a player sent off very early in the game. We actually played quite well when they were down to 10 men, and then we had a player sent off, and it became 10v10. And then when the game is even, it sums up how rubbish we are. And in the second half, 6 goals were. Oh my word! Yeah, Ebbsfleet are the model of how not to be a football club. What's happening to me playing Football Manager? I don't know. It's been ages. With the fact that Football Manager 2025 is going to be delayed and it might not even come out at all, then who knows? I might make the extraordinary comeback. But it's a bit outdated, really. I've got Smith Rowe playing for us, and so yeah.
All together now. Leave the memories alone.
Yeah. Can't go a video without me mentioning Smith Rowe, can't you?
I know. Look, I love the guy as much as you do. That's the problem, right? But the thing is, I can kind of let it go, and I'm pleased for Emil that he's at least got himself a transfer. I know things didn't go well for him on Saturday. I know he got hooked on 60 minutes. I know, but he's getting a run of games. He's probably had the most games that he's had in a season this season, and I'm genuinely pleased for him. That's what he needs. To answer the question that AFC says, I'm going to leave that to Bertie's control. I can't make him do it. Here's the problem. You got this crazy thing called life in the way, and you know,
I've been doing some work for a while, so I
was going to say for a change.
Yeah, it's been a bit it's been a bit hectic.
I don't mean it.
But going in the office for 3 days a week, and when I come back, I'm usually knackered. So yeah,
3 days a week. So that's a bit.
Speaking of singing, Robbie Williams will be singing on tour at the Emirates Stadium. Good.
I heard about this, but I mean, very similar to Robbie Williams. Let us entertain you. Anyway, I think that being said, being that we've just gone past 8 o'clock, being that I want to watch the live footy right now, I think we should probably get out of here now, Posh. What do you think?
Yes, absolutely. And also go and support Dom on Josh's channel as well. Yeah. I think he's live at the moment.
Absolutely, he's either. I think he's on True Gooner, isn't he? So that's
what I meant.
That's where you find. Yeah, that's where you'll find him. And of course, there are social medias on the banner down there. Posh, do the honours, sir.
Yeah, you can find me on X at Posh Bertie. My Instagram's at Bertie Wanless, and I run Gooner Gathering's Instagram account called Gooner Gathering, obviously. And of course, on Gooner Gathering, we watch Arsenal, so you do not have to.
Thank you very much. This has been an absolute pleasure tonight, guys. If you've got this far in the stream, and if you haven't hit the like button, guys, what are we doing? Can we please just do all the nice YouTube things? Hit the like, hit the subscribe, hit the share if you could, please, on your social media of choice. Gooner Gathering will return, I would imagine, probably on Wednesday, perhaps, for a potential look at how we get on in Portugal. For certain, we'll be on live on Friday for perhaps with early doors if we can do it, for discussing the West Ham game. And of course, I am going to do my utmost to be online for Saturday. It's a tea time kickoff. It might be a noisy one because I'll have to be in the other room with Princess Amy, and you know what she's like. She somewhat disrupted our stream last time, but but I'm sure we'll have a jolly good time doing it. I'd love to bring back chat along if we can do it. I'll let you all know on the X, Twitter, whatever it's called, page later on in the week. But until then, ladies and gentlemen, we are out of here for this evening. Thank you very much for watching, and Gooner Gathering. We'll see you soon.
Love you, bye.